Okay, so today we are going to be working on two-step equations. So here we go. It's just like two-step equations, two-step inequalities. Just like two-step equations, except with an inequality sign. So 1a, we're going to balance it just like we would an equation. Subtract 6 from each side, subtract 6. The rules remain the same as they were before. So we're going to have negative 18 is greater than or equal to 3x. Now we have a one-step inequality, and we're just going to divide by 3, and our inequality is going to be negative 6 is greater than or equal to x. So greater than or equal to, you're just going to go ahead and get your little dot, plot it, make sure your number line makes sense, so we'll just call it like this, negative 6, negative 6 needs to go here, negative 6, negative 7, negative 8, negative 9, negative 5, negative 4, negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0. And x has to be less than or equal to negative 6, so our arrow needs to be going in the left-hand direction. So to make sure this works, negative 6 is greater than or equal to a value over here, so I'll just use negative 8, and that's true, so we check it. All right, on to 1b. So we have a fraction here, so to get, to isolate x plus 5, we have to multiply by negative 2. What we do to one side, we have to do to the other, so times negative 2. But remember, when we multiply or divide by a negative number, you switch the sign. So now, to rewrite, we have x plus 5 is less than negative 6. Subtract 5, and x is less than negative 11. So now we're just going to plot that. So I'm just going to put negative 11 right in the middle, negative 12, negative 13, negative 14, negative 15, and we're going to go over here, negative 10, negative 9, negative 8. It is an open circle because it can't be equal. Of course, I can't drag it here. Open circle on negative 11, and x is less than negative 11, so we grab the appropriate arrow and we head off to the left. All right, third example. Here we have the same type of problem as 1b, but we have to multiply by 3. And 3 is positive, so we don't need to switch the sign at this step right now. So 1 minus 2n is greater than or equal to, these cross out, 7 times 3. If we rewrite 1 minus 2n is greater than or equal to 21. Now we're going to subtract 1. Okay, remember, there's a positive sign in front of this 1. It's a positive 1. So we're going to do minus 1, negative 2n is greater than or equal to 20. Okay? So now we are dividing. It's a one-step inequality. Negative 2n is greater than or equal to 20. And we need to divide by negative 2. Divide by negative 2, divide by negative 2. Remember, when we divide or multiply by a negative, we need to switch the sign. So it's going to be n is less than or equal to negative 10. So again, we're going to plot. Okay, and we have a closed circle because it can be equal to negative 10. Closed circle right here. And then n is less than or equal to negative 10, so we get our arrow going in the right direction, and we plot it going that way. Okay, on to the second set of examples. So first, in this one, I would simplify. So I would do 2m plus 5 is greater than 5 squared, which is 25. Okay, now two-step inequality. When I subtract, I don't need to switch the sign, so minus 5. 2m is greater than 20. Divide by 2, divide by 2. M is greater than 10. Okay? No switching of any signs here because we're not dividing or multiplying by a negative number. it is going to be an open circle. So let's do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, and then 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We're going to have an open circle. I should figure out how to make these easier over there, but here we go. 10 and m is greater than 10, so we get our arrow and it's going in to the right direction. Okay, next example. Simplify, just like we always have. So we have PEMDAS in this case, in distributive property. So we're going to do 3 plus 2x plus 8 is greater than 3. We can combine, we have like terms, the 3 and the 8. So we always want to simplify on the left side or the right side first. So what you're going to do is you're going to do 2x plus 11 is greater than 3. Subtract 11, subtract 11, 2x is greater than negative 8. And now we have 2x is greater than negative 8. Now, negative 8 is there, but we're not multiplying or dividing by a negative in order to isolate x, just like we did not in the last section in 2.3. We're just going to solve this regularly because we're dividing by a positive 2. So x is greater than negative 4, and then you graph accordingly. So this one we're going to do negative 4, negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we are going to do our open circle again. And that's going to go on negative 4, and x has to be greater than negative 4. Okay, I know how much you all love fractions, so we're going to do some fractions over here. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change this 1/4 to a common denominator so that I can work with it easier. So I'm going to do 5/8 is less than 3/8 x minus 2/8. Okay, I got that by just multiplying by 2 or by 1. So 2 over 2 is 1, and that got me 2/8. Now I'm going to balance, add 2/8, add 2/8. And I'm going to have 7/8 is less than 3/8 x. One-step equation, 3/8 x. To isolate x, I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal, which is going to be times 8 over 3. What I do to one side, I do to the other. Times 8 over 3. These 8's cross out, and I have 7/3 is less than 3, is less than x. Okay? So now I'm going to just plot this, and even though it's a fraction, that's okay. I'm just going to do 0, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I know that 7/3 is equal to 2 1/3, so I'm just going to take a open circle, and 2 1/3 would be about right here. I can even mark it, 2 1/3, and then I would say x is going to be, or 7/3 is going to be less than all values of x. X has to be greater than that, so I'm actually going to go in this direction this time. Okay. Finally, we have these word problems, which I know that you all love so much, for two-step inequalities. And this one has to do with Jim's test scores. So the average, it says the average of Jim's 2 test scores must be at least 90 to make an A in the class. Jim got a 95 on his first test score. What score can Jim get on his second test score to make an A in the class? So, you know, for this one, that 95, okay, plus x divided by 2 has to be, the average of Jim's 2 test scores must be at least 90 to make an A in the class. So it has to be, this has to be greater than or equal to 90. So let's solve this two-step equation. Times 2 times 2, 95 plus x has to be greater than or equal to 180. Subtract 95, subtract 95, and I have x has to be greater than or equal to 85, so Jim needs to get at least an 85 on his test. Okay, so that's it for that video for today for 2-4, and I'm going to have you guys work on page 123 to 125, questions 16 through 36, every other even, 37, yes, it's a word problem, 45 to 50, and then 53 to 60. All right, so get cracking, and good luck.